nothing. I could have been putting water on my face, you know, like a $70 bottle of water. But hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 9, 6, and 4. If you're interested in videos about secular homeschooling, raising a child with ADHD, or just living a more essentialist lifestyle in general, you have come to the right place. On occasion, I also do videos about skincare because I'm a bit of a skincare junkie and I like to throw in a little bit of medical perspective in there. So if you're interested in any of those things, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. This is my empties bucket for, I believe, the last 2 months. I think the last time I did an empties video was in March. So I just throw these things in here and I talk about them in a random order. If you have any questions about anything in particular that I mentioned, be sure to ask the question in the comments down below and I will try to respond as soon as I am able. If you have any experience with any of the products, or like negative or positive, let me know in the comments down below too, because I really think products can act differently over time and I certainly don't want to mislead anybody. So if you know something that I don't, be sure to contribute in the comments and let us all know. The first item that I picked up randomly is just this Nourish Organic Rejuvenating Argan Butter. I believe I talked about another cream from Nourish Organic. I think it was their Rose Butter in a previous empties video. I really like that one too. This argan butter is really nice. As you can see, it has little lemons on the label. I used every single bit of it. It has Moroccan argan oil, shea butter, and coconut oil in it. It is all fair trade certified. The first ingredient is shea butter. The second ingredient is sunflower seed oil. Then cornstarch, coconut oil, argan nut oil, organic fragrance, vitamin E, and that is it. So it's a very clean ingredient product. I used all of it. It is a very thick butter. So if you can see right there on the tip of my finger, that's all I have left of it in there. But it spreads really thickly. It comes out like almost like butter from the fridge, you know, like you can definitely carve out a little scoop with your finger, but it is nice and thick. If you don't like that sensation, this butter is definitely not for you. Like the butters that you get in the drugstore and stuff are generally fairly smooth. They're just like a really rich cream. This is like a butter. Like it is thick. You could take it out and spread it with a butter knife if you wanted. I really like that. I like the occlusive nature of that as a final step in my cream layer. I sometimes will do other steps first, even for my body after I get out of the shower. When you moisturize anywhere, including your body, the most important thing to remember is to trap in the moisture. So you don't want to let yourself dry out before putting a cream on or an occlusive layer like this. You want to get out of the shower, pat dry swiftly, and put cream on immediately so that you prevent transepidermal water loss and you lock in that moisture in the outer layers of your skin. Speaking of moisturizers, the next thing that I pulled out of the basket is Dr. Sam's Flawless Moisturizer. I can't remember whether I talked about this in an empties video or whether it was in a favorites video, but this has definitely been one of my recent favorites as far as skincare goes. Dr. Sam has her own YouTube channel. I will link it down below. She is a British dermatologist and I like a lot of what she has to say. She has developed her own line of moisturizer and I believe she has a sunscreen out now as well. You do have to order it from the UK. It is not that pricey as far as an expensive moisturizer goes. Like you'll definitely find more pricey things at Sephora. But you do have to pay for shipping right now because you can't get it in the US directly. And I really love it. Her name is Dr. Sam Bunting and the ingredients in this are really nice. The main ingredient is shea butter, but it also has other really useful skin ingredients like niacinamide, which I've talked about frequently on this channel. Niacinamide does a lot to reduce discoloration, to improve the look of fine wrinkles, and your skin elasticity and bounce back. It is one of the most researched ingredients, so I really like it for that. I like that shea butter is used because it's really occlusive. It does a great job of trapping moisture. If you don't like a rich moisturizer feel, you will not like this. But if you tend to have normal to dry skin, I think this is a wonderful moisturizer for you. I had no reaction to it whatsoever. I have fairly sensitive skin and when I use new products, sometimes there's this little, you know, irritated redness that happens just as I acclimate to it. This had absolutely nothing. So this became my like go-to nighttime moisturizer. I still really like my CeraVe PM. I think that's a really great drugstore affordable option if you're looking for a good nighttime moisturizer. But if you're looking to try something new and you like the feel of a rich nighttime moisturizer, I really do recommend Dr. Sam's Flawless Moisturizer. Next is the mouthwash that I got from Brandless. If you haven't seen my Brandless review, I will link it up above, but Brandless is a company that basically takes off that brand tax by just cutting out the middleman. So the products are sold to you directly from whoever manufactures them, and they put this very clean labeling on them. So this one just says mouthwash. And I gotta say, this was a fail for me. I really liked a lot of Brandless's snacks, but this mouthwash was horrible. So horrible, in fact, that I got through about half of it, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I just poured the rest down the sink. So I kind of hated this. I think Brandless, you can do better. This flavor is peppermint, but it just had this really horrible taste. However, it is non-GMO. It is made with pure essential oils, no artificial colors or flavors. And if you like it, like if you don't mind that taste of sorbitol and xylitol, then you'll be fine. I think if you start your kids off on something like this and they don't get used to a taste of like a stronger mouthwash, that'll probably work. But for me, it was a no-go. Next is Natural Calm, which is a magnesium supplement that I use for anxiety reduction, for stress relief, for magnesium supplementation. I actually give this to my kids as well, and they like it. This is the sweet lemon flavor, and it comes in a powdered form. It looks like a drink mix almost, and I just put a teaspoon in for like a big, 16-ounce kind of water thing for the kids, and I put 2 teaspoons in for me because that's the maximum dosage. The magnesium that's in Natural Calm is magnesium citrate, and magnesium citrate can cause a little bit of diarrhea, a little bit of softer stool. So my advice to you is if you're starting a magnesium supplement, particularly if it's magnesium citrate, go slow. Do not start with the maximum dosage. Go ahead and start with like 1/4 of a teaspoon for a few days. Make sure that your GI tract is, acting normally, then up it to 1/2 teaspoon, then up it to a teaspoon, and so on and so forth every few days. And if you see GI changes that are unpleasant, cut back on it because it definitely can do that. That being said, if you have a child, for example, or if you are constipated, this is a really nice way of just like increasing, your GI mobility because magnesium citrate will do that. I find that, this really does help me. On the days when I don't use it, I don't notice a real difference, but on the days when I do, I just feel like, it's giving me a nice little boost. And it might just be placebo for me, but I like the taste. I like that my kids have it. I like that we're all trying to be calmer together. So I do recommend it. I think that for me personally, it really does help. Next is one that I've talked about in almost every single one of my product empties. Sometimes I think to myself, should I mention it again? But then I'm like, yes, I should. Because when I see people recommending the same product over and over again, one, it engenders a little bit more confidence in me about, what they're promoting. But it also gives me the idea that, oh, this works so well that this person is sticking to it. So I do want to show you that I do consistently use this. And this is the Hada Labo Skin Plumping Gel. I alternate between this one and the Neutrogena Hydro Boost for my hyaluronic acid in the morning. Right now, however, I am trying a new one, and I will talk to you about that if in fact it works. I'm trying the INKEY 10 hyaluronic acid. I also tried the Ordinary's hyaluronic acid serums, and those do not come in like a gel cream form like this one and the Hydro Boost. Those come in like a little jar, and it's much more liquidy. But so far I've liked them, and I'll tell you how my feelings about them in a later video, but I love the Hada Labo Skin Plumping Gel Cream. If you had to press me, I would say I probably like it a little bit better than the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. However, I think the popularity of this has increased on Amazon, and so the price has gone up. So we'll see if I keep using it or not. So just a little refresher about hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring molecule in the deeper layers of your skin, and it serves to bind water at much greater quantities to its size than it is. What you do when you put a hyaluronic acid layer on your skin, on the top of your skin, is it draws moisture from all sides. It draws moisture from the air, but it also draws moisture to your outer skin cells from your inner skin. And you want to be careful with hyaluronic acid because if it's the only thing you leave on your skin, the only moisturizer you use, that moisture from inside your skin will be drawn out and out and out, and it will escape. So you'll have this water loss. So you definitely want to shield it. After you put a hyaluronic acid serum on, you want to shield it with something more occlusive like, Dr. Sam's moisturizer, or like any kind of daytime moisturizer or a sunscreen moisturizer, etc. You don't want this to be the last thing you leave on your skin. Next up is an oldie but a goodie. It is Aquaphor's Healing Ointment from Eucerin. Aquaphor is amazing. It's better than petroleum jelly. I think people who say that it's the same thing, you can see that I use it up completely. There's not even like a tiny drop to show you. It looks like petroleum jelly. It looks a little bit more milky in consistency, a little bit less yellow. Aquaphor is formulated in such a way that you just have better occlusive properties with it. You have a little better moisturization with Aquaphor than you would with petroleum jelly, which acts as like a pure occlusive layer. But it is wonderful, especially if you have chapped lips, chapped skin, chapped elbows. If you want to put on your heels and your feet and put socks on every night, you will have baby soft feet. It is very thick. It is very greasy. I think most of us are familiar with how petroleum jelly feels. I would argue that Aquaphor feels even more thick than that. And so it's just a really great occlusive layer. What do I mean when I say occlusive layer? I mean a layer that acts like a shield over your skin that really prevents water loss. So that water stays underneath the shield and stays with your skin, which is where you want it. So if you have eczema, this is great on top of eczema patches. If you have flaky cuticles, things like that, really Aquaphor is the only cuticle cream you'll ever need. So I recommend having it on hand all the time. It is just the balm that I use on the kids for everything, the balm that I use on my lips every single day. It's just always been on hand. So I generally always have a tub about this size because they easily fit into a drawer in the bathroom, and I just keep it in everybody's bathroom. Next up is my favorite toothpaste of all time, and that is Colgate Total. It is the Advanced Whitening Total, the regular old Colgate Total. There's something I love about Colgate Total, and whenever I use a different toothpaste, I get a gross feeling in my mouth, whereas with Colgate Total, I never do. When I brush my teeth and my mouth feel fine all day long until I brush my teeth again, and I just never get that bleh feeling. Sometimes on vacation, I forget to take it, and then I have to use my husband's toothpaste, and I'm just like, bleh. All day long, I feel this sensation of like bacterial overgrowth or whatever. So I'm just a ride or die Colgate Total fan. However, I would love to find a more natural toothpaste that works as well. So if anybody has like a natural toothpaste that they adore, let me know. So this is my next product empty, and this is the Exfoliate moisturizer by Kate Somerville. I think I got it from Sephora as a sample. I did not like this. Now, Exfoliate has a lot going on. As it says in the name, it is an exfoliant. It's a chemical exfoliating moisturizer. So it has a lot of AHAs in it, or alpha hydroxy acids. Particularly, I think it has like pumpkin extract. It also has glycolic acid as well as lactic acid. It also has a lot of fruit and nut oils in it. So it's got moisturizers, it's also got alpha hydroxy acids. It was just too much for me. Like, I felt a lot of tingle with it. It was a little bit too strong for me. Like, if you have like skin that can withstand AHAs and chemical exfoliation really well, you might want to try it. I really couldn't stand it on my face. It really created like a redness and a reaction with me. So I tried it actually where I have a little bit of keratosis pilaris on my upper arms, and you know, I didn't find such a huge reaction there. I also didn't find such huge improvement, but at least I used up the cream. It comes out, oh, actually I didn't use up the cream. It looks like a little bit greenish, if you can see, like it's got a slightly green tint. And it smells very fresh and fruity. I think it has like some natural fragrances in there, but I just wasn't a fan. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. It's really quite expensive. If you have a lot of like texture issues and you want a serious chemical exfoliation though, it might be something to look into for you. It does have dimethicone, squalene, lactic acid. It has glycolic acid. It has lactobacillus pumpkin fruit ferment. It has radish root filtrate, papain. It has indica fruit extract. It has glycerin, which is a really good humectant. It has bergamot fruit oil. It has rosewood extract, orange peel oil, geranium oil. It has a lot going on. It also has limonene. You know how I feel about all the citric acids on your face and stuff like that. I mean, citric acid has been known to create like contact dermatitis on people's skin, allergic dermatitis on their faces. I like to stay away from like that many ingredients in a product. I also like to stay away from that many different fruit extracts and things. Just because something is natural does not mean it's necessarily good for your face, and it does not mean that it might not produce a reaction. So just, you know, proceed cautiously when you see that many different amazing natural ingredients in a product. Next up is the Lotus Youth Preserve Face Cream by Fresh. And I got this as a sample also from Sephora. It comes in this cunning little jar. I really do like Fresh's packaging. They have this really nice frosted glass kind of clean look to their products. Similar to the exfoliate, this has a lot of ingredients. So Fresh says that it has maca root extract in combination with this Super 7 complex. Whenever you see this language, this terminology, this marketing stuff like Super 7 complex, like youth glow restorifier, blah, 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 just, you know, take a chill pill, because in general, this is just marketing. Do not fall for the marketing. Really look at the ingredients and see whether you see any problematic ingredients in there, whether you see anything that might irritate your skin in particular, or just is proven to be an irritant for everybody. So for example, this cream has proven irritants like citric peel extract, which, you know, I wouldn't put that in anybody's skincare, and it does give it a really like fresh smell. It gives it that little tingle. You feel like something's happening, but what you feel might not actually be a good thing. So just be cautious about that. This gets 4 and 5 stars in Sephora, on Fresh's website, everything. I wanted to try it. I wanted to see whether I liked it. I did not. Again, when I have too much fragrance in a product, when I feel that tingle in general, unless I'm actually actively exfoliating my face, I don't like that feeling. You might be different, but let me tell you some of the ingredients in here. Water and glycerin are 2 of the first ingredients. Glycerin is a great humectant that draws a lot of water to wherever that cream is, which is good. It has sodium hyaluronate, so it has like a hyaluronic acid with it. It has limonene, it has fig fruit extract, it has maca root extract, lemon peel oil, cucumber fruit extract, caramel, algae extract, nucifera flower extract, hibiscus fruit extract, sorbic acid, and vitamin E. It has a whole host of ingredients, I mean like over 20, but I just wasn't super impressed. And again, like I say, you really don't need all of it. You don't need all of this, and I would just be cautious. I didn't think it was a miracle cream. It didn't cause nearly as much of a reaction as the exfoliate. I liked it much better than that. I actually used it on vacation because it was this nice little tub size, but I wasn't that impressed. I didn't think it did that great of a job at hydrating my skin. So for the price point especially, it's a pass for me. This next empty is one that I am super excited to share with you because it is the SkinCeuticals C&E Ferulic. And this product changed my face. I mean, I bought this for the first time about 3 years ago, and it was just me trying out a vitamin C serum. Now, if you haven't tried out a vitamin C serum, the whole point of using them is for its antioxidant properties. Basically, vitamin C acts as a free radical scavenger, and free radicals cause damage on your skin. They basically accelerate your aging, and by harvesting the free radicals, you're preventing that type of skin breakdown and cellular breakdown. So vitamin C has been known to really improve the appearance of fine lines, improve skin's elasticity, balance, water retention, the whole 9 yards. However, the studies for this are really based in the lab because keeping vitamin C stable outside of a laboratory setting is really, really hard. And because of this, I know dermatologists who don't recommend vitamin C serums, who don't actually use them in their own practice because they feel like the formulations you actually get aren't that great. They aren't that helpful, especially for the money that you pay. However, about 3 years ago, I wanted to give it a go and see whether there was anything to it. And I ordered the top of the line because that's how I do things. And the gold standard for vitamin C serums is this product right here, which is SkinCeuticals C&E Ferulic. So it has vitamin C, vitamin E, and ferulic acid, which further stabilizes the vitamin C molecule. I love this, and when I used it the very first time, within I would say 3 weeks, I noticed a reduction in my most deep wrinkles, which are the 11, which are the ones right between your eyebrows here, and I just noticed a reduction. So I was like, great, you know, vitamin C really seems to do something. Let me explore all the cheaper options out there because this is incredibly pricey. And I tried a bunch of very highly rated vitamin C serums with absolutely no result, nothing. I even used, I would say, the next most famous vitamin C serum out there, which is the Drunk Elephant's Derma serum, I believe is what it's called. And I had 0 results with that. I mean, nothing. I could have been putting water on my face, you know, like a $70 bottle of water, but it did absolutely nothing. So this year I finally just succumbed and was like, I'm just gonna go back to this, the gold standard. And once again, immediately I saw a really great result, and I saw a reduction in the 11. And if I remember, I'll put in like a picture here just of like the beginning of April and the beginning of May. You can visibly see it like in the mirror. You don't have to, you know, closely examine your face and ask your friend. You can actually see a reduction in whatever lines you're worried about. So I love it. The directions here is once in the morning after cleansing, apply 4 to 5 drops to a dry face, neck, and chest. And then, you know, follow with moisturizer or whatever. But I use this generally in the morning. If you're using a vitamin C serum, you want to be really diligent about using a sunscreen as well. And I just love it. I love the way it feels. Apparently the way that SkinCeuticals formulates their vitamin C serum, you don't actually have to use it every day. So that does spread out the cost a little bit. The ingredient will continue working in your skin, you know, in the deeper layers of your skin, so you don't have to worry about the washing it off at night and stuff. And I generally use it every other day just to make the product go a little bit further for me. So every other day I put this vitamin C serum on, and the days in between I generally put a cheaper vitamin C serum on because it is very, very expensive. You know, I recommend it. I do. I think it's one of the few products I've ever used that creates such an immediate, visible, appreciable difference in my skin. So I highly, highly recommend it. I know it's expensive, but if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I prefer to use less products that are more effective. So if you really look at all the products on your bathroom sink or under your bathroom sink and add up the cost of all of these random $20 and $25 products, it's a big number at the end of the day. It's much better, in my opinion, to use fewer products that are more expensive that actually have a result on your skin, that actually help your skin. So cut down the products you use to just the most effective ones, and I guarantee you won't be spending that much more money than you do now, and probably you'll actually start spending less. So big recommendation here. This is a ride or die for me now. Another sample that came from Sephora was by Fresh. It's their Floral Rose Toner. I don't really use a toner on my skin very often. I think it's sort of an unnecessary step. People who swear by them say that it restores the pH balance of your skin. Your tap water might have messed up the pH of your skin or put sediment or whatever's in your tap water onto your skin. The toner will take that off and like just sort of refresh your skin in a clean way. I don't know how sold I am on toner yet. If you're really sold on a toner, let me know in the comments down below and let me know why. But I thought this was nice. I always feel fancy when I spritz my face with toner. I think it's a really nice thing to take on planes if you ever get these sample sizes, especially because, you know, your skin just starts to feel a little bit parched, so you can spray on some toner and then put on some moisturizer. That's one thing I would really advise with toner. A lot of times I see people on YouTube recommending, you know, just spritz your face with toner as you walk around through the day. That's a really not great idea, because when you add water to your skin and you don't create like an occlusive layer on top, it takes moisture out of your skin. It's just like stepping out of a pool, you know, or stepping out of a bathtub where you were just really wet and now your skin feels dry and tight. Why? What happened? As that water evaporates off the surface of your skin, it takes other underlying water with it, you know, like it doesn't know like who's its new water friend and the old water friend that was already in your skin. It just grabs it and leaves into the atmosphere. Don't spritz toner on your face and not follow it up with something. If you want to spritz toner on your face and add a little moisture, slap on some moisturizer to actually lock it in. I liked this. I thought it was fine. I felt fancy. I don't really plan on spending my money on that. You guys, I have so many more empties still. I'm so sorry that this video is going on so long. I ordered these nail cutters from Brandless too, just to see if they were good. I did not like them at all. So much so that I am going to just toss this or maybe donate it. I don't know. I don't feel like donating it because I thought it was really ineffective. There's nothing worse than having a nail clipper that is not sharp, and these were not sharp enough to be worth even the $3 that I paid. So Brandless, you're gonna have to do better on that one. My biotin, I've talked about this in several other empties videos if you want to hear more about it. This is my liquid biotin. Biotin is vitamin B7, and basically it's been noted to help with, you know, the appearance of hair, skin, and nails. I use it because, you know, female pattern balding runs in our family, and I definitely have less hair than I used to have. So I find that, you know, my hair doesn't fall out as much and that it feels a little bit stronger and healthier when I regularly use biotin. I like having it in drop form because I keep this bottle right by my toothbrush, and so I don't forget, and I use it every single day. So this is a Rimmel lip pencil that I do not like. I'm trying to go through my products now where if I use it and I don't like it, I just get rid of it, because otherwise it just sort of goes back in the drawer and it lives there for another 2 years and I never use it. This was in the shade Addiction. I really liked the way it looked. I thought it looked very much like my natural lip color, but I don't know, it was just bleh. It didn't do anything that I thought was helpful, and it was a little bit too pale for me, so I don't recommend the Rimmel lip pencils. Last but not least, you guys, I have 2 mascaras to share with you. The first one is the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. Now, Better Than Sex is my favorite hands down mascara. It has been for over 2 years now. I think it is really lovely. I think it creates length and volume. I have very short, stubby, straight lashes, so I need all the help I can get. And I'm not like a fake lashes type of person. Like, I just don't have patience for that kind of life. So this one has this like hourglass kind of wand. It's a little bit tilted. Honestly, I don't know if I did that or if it came that way. But it has this little hourglass shape. It's really bushy wand. I generally have to use what is it called? What are those things called with a little cotton on both ends? A Q-tip. I generally have to use a Q-tip to clean under my eyes because the brush is so bushy, but I don't mind that because I think it does a great job. Some people complain that Better Than Sex has too much flakiness and fallout, but I don't find that to be the case for me. It does have a waterproof version if that's a concern though. The dupe for the Better Than Sex is by L'Oreal, which is the parent company, I believe, of Too Faced, by the way. And it's the Voluminous Lash Paradise, and it comes in this very similar shade container. As you can see, this like pale pink foil kind of container. And it has a similar type of brush. It's a very full brush. It has a much fainter kind of hourglass. It's not as exaggerated of an hourglass shape, but a very similar type of brush. It doesn't have the ball end of the last brush either. It's a little bit thicker of a formula, and I really like it. I think it does a really good job at being, I would say, 85 to 90% as good as the Better Than Sex. And it is much cheaper. So if you're interested in it, I get it in Blackest Black. You can get it at Target. You can find it almost anywhere. It is very popular. And I gotta say, I don't know why like makeup companies do this, but when this first came out, I thought it was like a perfect dupe. And recently, since I've been repurchasing it, I don't think it's as good. I don't know whether that's all in my head or whether they reformulated it or something, or L'Oreal was like, we'd still like to make the money off the Better Than Sex, so let's like make this not quite as good, okay guys? I don't know what went on there, but if you're looking for a good solid mascara from the drugstore, I recommend this. I think it's great. The Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. So those were my empties, you guys. I'm sorry it went on so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If there is any products that you have been loving for skincare or makeup or whatever, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking out for a really good new hyaluronic acid cream to try out. I really like sunscreens, obviously. I think this might be one of the very first empties I ever did where I didn't show you a sunscreen. And that's just because I've been using a variety of them, so none of them are quite empty yet. And in my next product empties, I'll probably have a bunch of sunscreen recommendations to show you. Speaking of sunscreen, if you guys want to see a specific sunscreen video, let me know that in the comments down below as well. As always, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you spending some of it with me, and I wish you guys the very best day.